wake up with the sunshine glow. Besties chat in stereo. Life is wild.
Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to
Socially
Unsocial. I'm Patty.
And I'm Danielle.
We are so happy to be here today.
We are. What a great day.
Great day to be alive. Happy day. I want to say happy Monday because that's when this airs, but it's not a Monday today. And who knows when you're listening to this? It could not be a Monday.
Yeah, Mondays we have really great people showing up every week to listen to us.
So you guys just can't wait.
That was Michelle because I set it to air or get dispersed at midnight just to make sure, because some platforms take a couple hours. And she's like, when I can't sleep and I look at my phone, it alerts and it says new episode ready.
I love that we've set notifications for this. Yeah. Thanks, Michelle.
And thanks to everyone else. We appreciate you listening. Again, I know you're probably sick of hearing it because we say it every week, but we really want everyone to know how grateful we are for that.
I thought you were going to say we really want everyone to know how great we are.
Well,
share our podcast. Huge shout out to Dominique because she shared it. And somebody wrote, "Oh, I really liked this podcast." So I'm like, "Oh my gosh, someone who doesn't know us." Yes. Thanks for listening.
Missy was talking the other day and I was like, all right, I have a serious question for you. And I know she'll be honest. I said, are you listening and you like it and it's relatable because you know us? Or is the stuff we're talking about relatable?
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, obviously, it's like a double bonus for me because I know you guys. But I feel like if I didn't know you guys, everything you're talking about is really relatable and stuff that like I'm interested in hearing about.
That is great news. Because it wouldn't be a podcast if it wasn't at least a little bit interesting. So
exactly. And I feel like we're trying to touch on things that people do find interesting, but we're also trying not to cross the line and be overly raunchy because there's so many podcasts I feel that talk about dildos and sex and all that shit. And yeah, that's cool. But eventually that I feel like that gets boring, and how often and how long can you talk about that stuff? Mm-hmm. So we're trying to be relatable without being hateable and really just open up people's way of thinking, or just to remind yourself that you're not alone.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's like my key takeaway all the time is just to realize that you're not alone. And even if your life and your struggles and your feelings, they might look different, but when you peel back all the layers, you realize that it's just the same as everyone else is feeling. And we're all just as alone or messed up or confused. I love on social media, it's a trend now where it says we're all just winging it. Some are just faking it better than others. Nobody has it together.
No one does. And, that they say fake it till you make it. And a lot of people are just like, just try. If you try just a little bit, you're doing better than half the world.
Yodo.
Yep. Oh, someone who didn't want me to even try to start that. Now you're quoting Yodo.
I don't want you to start it.
That's another merch idea. We'll put Yoda and then have him say Yodo.
Oh, but it'll be like your face as Yoda's face with the ears. Yodo.
I really don't even need to put fake ones on. If I just pull my hair back, my ears are really big, so I'll just do it. It is, yeah. I'll
really?
Later. Oh my god, yeah. Sometimes I hate wearing a baseball cap because it like literally showcases my Dumbo ears.
I would have known by now. I would have realized by now.
I do a good job of hiding it.
No way.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just one of the things I'm like over being insecure about it because it is what it is. I have a husband.
Oh, I don't think that's true, but that's funny. The things that we are insecure about ourselves that a friend of almost 20 years has never even thought twice about. And it's not even like I've seen you in a pool where your hair is slicked back. We don't do the slick back buns. Are you on that trend with the slick back hair? Have you ever done that hairstyle?
I don't think so because I just don't like my forehead. I don't like my ears.
Yeah, I don't do it either.
No, I admire people do because there's this one chef that I watch, Brooke, and she always has her hair like slicked back up in a ponytail and these really awesome curls. And I was like, first of all, I look at you and I'm like, if I had that, I'd have a migraine.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
And then I'm like, every day like that. But then it looks like her face is so proportionate and her ears are so proportionate to her face. Those are things I think things you recognize about other people are things about yourself that maybe you're not so secure about.
Oh, yeah. Such a funny and interesting point. That is so funny.
Yeah.
Danielle told me the other day that I say that's so funny a lot. So I had to slip it in.
And the only reason it like stands out to me, and then it stood out to me, and then my husband brought it to my attention. So for anybody out there who was a fan of Scrubs or rewatches Scrubs, there's a couple episodes where Mandy Moore plays Zach Braff's girlfriend, and all she does is she doesn't laugh. She always just says, "That's so funny," and it starts to really bother him because he's that person like a Jerry Seinfeld that always just finds something wrong with the girls he's dating. So that irked him to no end, and then ended up being the demise of their relationship. I got that stuck in Patty's head.
Yeah, if this podcast ends after a couple months, we can blame That's So Funny. But also, remember at my baby shower, I was opening gifts.
Oh my God.
And what was it, adorable or cute? Obviously, baby stuff is cute, but afterward, Danielle was like, we were all at table 19 over counting all the times I say, that's so cute, or was it adorable? Either one.
Yeah.
But everything was adorable. I stand by every time I said that.
I also feel like you're the person that has to acknowledge everybody. If I was opening up gifts, like I wouldn't feel that I necessarily had to say that's so cute, that's so nice, thank you. Or yeah, thank you, yes, but not like
you just throw it.
Like, all right,
here's another onesie. Throw it in the bag.
But you had to make sure that everyone there
felt seen.
Thank you. Yeah, like
that's my goal in life.
That's good. That's a good goal to have.
That was my goal before I even realized that was my goal.
See, look at you. You've been a good person your whole life, and you just never knew it. You had to work harder, but you're just genuinely a nice person.
Oh, that is really, you know what? I needed that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I needed that this week.
And if there's no compliment to be given, I'm not going to give it to you. Sorry, you have to earn it. No participation awards being given on my behalf.
Oh, and then there's me. If I barely someone's hat, I'm like rushing out the door. I really like your hat, by the way. Have a good day. Did that build you up? It built me up a little bit. Yes. And then Danielle's, no.
No.
So when you get a compliment from Danielle, it's a lottery of compliments. From me, also enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it where you can get it.
I feel like anyone would just really appreciate a compliment. Again, if you over compliment people, they're probably like, this means shit.
Yeah. Ooh, like in Mean Girls. When she's like, you're really pretty. And then they're like, oh, thanks. Just, oh, so you agree. So you think you're really pretty.
They're coming to Broadway.
Are
Girls, yeah.
Really? But who's starring in it?
That I didn't get that far on. I just knew that was coming. I feel like either way it'd be fun to watch.
Absolutely. Didn't Tina Fey do a second Mean Girls movie? Did you ever see that?
No.
Me either. Maybe I should watch that. I'm sure it's on Netflix now. I don't go to the theaters.
Is there a car driving by with the bass?
Dude, we're sitting in our podcast room. The curtains are drawn. The doors are closed. And we just hear this thumping. And honestly, my mind goes straight to Godzilla. Like, that's what it sounded like. So thank God you're here to remind me that it's probably a car with loud bass.
The other scary part is it is November 6th.
Yeah.
And that we're recording this. The new president is Donald Trump. So we know that there's a lot of people out there that are not happy.
Yeah.
So it's almost on edge where anything can happen because you never know how people are going to react. Stay safe, America.
We hope this podcast reaches you. If not, like we said, it's the beginning of November. We're here just trying to be funny and silly.
Exactly. And just remember, just because you didn't agree with what happened doesn't mean that we need to be nasty and mean. We just need to be kind and understand that if everyone had the same opinion in the world, it'd be a very boring world to live in.
Absolutely.
Difference of opinion makes you stronger, makes you smarter.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think a friend of mine told me recently that the reason that she loves listening to us is because we are not afraid to like combat each other, but in a really like genuine, helpful, constructive way. And I think because I think the world of you, and when we have different views on something, I think it's awesome because you convey it in a way that I think the world of you and your opinion on anything isn't going to change what I know to be true at your core. And so when we can go back and forth the way that we do, it's really constructive and it's helpful. It helps me see things in a new way, which really essentially is why the two of us were like, we'll do a podcast and it'll work, because we are similar, but we are different enough where it's not boring and we are able to communicate that to each other in a healthy manner.
I so agree with that. And I think that is friendships and relationships in general, because if you think about it, how boring would it be to hang out with someone who was, oh, yes, Patty, I agree with that. Oh, yeah, you're right. Or like even just being married to someone like that, like someone who just does yes because they want to avoid confrontation. The only way you can build, and it's not what you say, it's how you say it. If I have a difference in opinion on you, it's just I'm going to tell you what my opinion is, and maybe I can back it up with some facts, and maybe some of the facts is stuff that you've never even heard or learned about before, but now you're like, okay, maybe I don't agree with you, but that's great because now you opened up my eyes to see it this way. And that's the most frustrating part about being married to my husband is he is not that yes man. He's when I'm in the wrong, when I'm doing something wrong, when he'll be the first one to say, you're wrong. And I, as much as I get mad in that moment, but he has opened up my eyes to so many things and made me think outside the box in certain ways and understand that just because I have an opinion about something doesn't make it right. And just as much as he has an opinion about something doesn't make him right.
Absolutely. Opinions are like, you know what? Everyone's got one. I think that's really cool. Jay, hanging out with you and Jay is always exciting because it's never boring going out to eat, because it's always like I could take something that you've told me or a thought or an idea or whatever and go and try to relay it to Mike. And I've told him before, this sounded way more interesting when Danielle was explaining it. You like sprinkle it with all this like excitement and suspense and contradicting ideas. It's just great. So I think that you and Jay are just like a really cool couple because it's fun to be around you guys.
Thanks for that compliment. It's a complimenting kind of day, huh?
Is this just what we're doing? Yeah, just back and forth?
Feeding or volleying.
We know that this is we know this is what we needed this week.
I guess so. God, that damn daylight savings time, man, really effed up everybody. It effed up me for sure.
Before we get into the high lows, let's talk about our daylight savings day, because everybody on my social media was like, it's 18 o'clock. It's dark already. It's the longest day. It's been the longest day ever. I didn't feel that way because I set my alarm bright and early for 7-something a.m. to make my way out to Wheaton, Illinois, to a salon called Scalpology in Wheaton, Illinois.
Oh my God, it was a fabulous day. And I felt bad setting it up because we had to be the first group in because they had another group coming in the afternoon. So I thought I was going to get shit from all you guys being like, you're making me get up at 7 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. You're making me get up at 7 a.m. on a Sunday. It's never fun to think about, but it was, I don't know, a group of our girlfriends, 9, 10 of us. And we were celebrating our friends' 10 years of being sober, which is amazing. Like, a huge round of applause. Yeah, I'm like so impressed. So many people, you can start out on a path and think, this is what I'm going to do. This is what's best for me. 10 years. I'm so in awe.
She made it look so easy. And I think that's the thing too. Because like to her, she was like, yeah, it was no big deal. But she didn't really understand, I think, like, the failure rate and how many times it takes someone to actually quit drinking. People don't quit on the first try.
No.
And then trying to plan something to celebrate somebody that doesn't involve drinking, that also fits everyone's personality, was a challenge in itself. So when I set it up and did my research, I was like, oh my God, like 4 people are going to be like, all right, cool. And the fact that most of you guys were like, yeah, let's do it. And then I was like, every time you guys came out of the room, so 4 went at a time and I was the last one. So I was just like watching everyone as they came out of the room. I'm like, please have a smile on your face. Please say all these good things. Because the last thing I want you guys to be like, yeah, that sucked.
No, it was amazing. We all went there. First off, at this specific location, Danielle had made a bunch of food and Dominique brought donuts. And so there was coffee brought in, coolers with water and sodas, and they let us take over the front area of their salon. And then there was a secret little passage into their side Scalpology, which is where there was like a few different rooms and you would go in and get your service done and you'd lay on, it was a heated bed or a heated blanket. It was basically a cocoon.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So you put on this robe, you get in, you lay down, and we've talked about how much I love sound machines and ambiance music. So there's this waterfall music, the lights are dark. Then she went a step further and put a weighted eye mask over me. I love my eye masks. I normally don't go anywhere without an eye mask in my purse, if I'm traveling, whatever, because that's like an instant, like, don't talk to me, and also like instant relaxation. So she puts that on, and then your head goes in this bowl. Yeah, I was gonna say sink, but it's like not a sink. It's so amazing. The best scalp massage, the way that your hair gets clean. I'm like, could go on and on about this forever.
Yeah,
go.
I have
Trust
no
me.
shame, and I will post my before picture and my after picture. Patty's not down for that.
I didn't even take one. I was like, I don't even want to look at this, but it's cool because they have this camera that literally shows you your scalp, and I'm like, okay, cool, awesome. Can we not?
But it's even if you wash your hair. Okay. So the contradiction was like, you hear people like, you don't wash your hair every day. You're going to ruin your hair. And you're going to get all the natural oils. So I don't wash my hair every day. Turns out you need to wash your hair every day.
Let it be known.
She was even saying, if you don't wash your hair every day, when you do wash your hair, you need to shampoo twice. And I was like, what? I think I had no shame, the dirtiest scalp.
No, I don't think so. I'm sure they've seen dirtier. That's what I always tell myself when I go get my nails done or toes done. I'm like, they've totally seen worse. Basically, I always knew that you're supposed to shampoo twice. My mom always told me, like, the first one just to get the dirt out, and then the second time to actually clean your hair, and then end with cold water. That's what my mom always said growing up. But you have really thick hair, so maybe for your scalp you need to shampoo every day, but for your actual hair, I would have to say don't. I would say it's healthy. So I guess
you just have to do the top of the head, and then you don't do this. This is where it gets all dried out.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder how dry shampoo affects that, because I work out a lot, so I always am throwing dry shampoo in my hair just to get me through to the next day or that night or whatever.
Yeah, they didn't touch on that, so I'll have to text Jamie, the owner of Scalpology. We're BFFs now.
You definitely are. Little did I know she wanted more friends, but I guess when you're cool, like Jamie was, Danielle's like now her BFF. She's like, I'll text her this. I was like, you got her number?
So just again, if you are looking for something fun to do, like a girls' day out, or even just with your husband, or even if you want to take a day to yourself, go visit Scalpology in Wheaton. They are awesome. If you call in and schedule your appointment and say Girls' Day 2024, they will give you $15 off your first Scalpology.
Which I feel like is amazing. And I know that it's Girls' Day 2024. I'm sending my husband. I told him, I'm like, you will love this. It was an hour-long service that we chose. You can choose like different times. It was so nice. Oh my gosh. So I'm sending my husband. I think that he should totally go because it's just different. And when you go get your hair cut, the best part 100% is the shampoo.
Oh yeah.
So think of that times 1,000,000. That's what this is.
Yeah,
so you're welcome.
It several times, and then on top of it, they do
paraffin and wax on your hands,
and then they massage your shoulders and your neck and your chest. So it's just like a mini massage with a deep scalp massage, and just my hair still feels so.
Mine feels so soft. I took a shower at the gym yesterday, and I did not have to like struggle to brush my hair. If anyone has ever seen me in the locker room trying to brush my hair with my soap from my gym, it's horrible. It's the worst. But yesterday it was just like easy breezy. So now I want to go back to the salon and just ask them, I want to buy your products. Yeah. Like, I need that for my hair. Why wouldn't we? Life is too short to deal with bad hair products.
Bad hair in general.
Yeah, tangly hair. I don't want it. I need the good stuff. So now's the time where I need to just stop getting my not Dollar Tree, but what is it? The drugstore shampoo.
Drugstore shampoo, which we learned a lot how that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Then I watched some videos that the parabens,
mm-hmm.
that's bad stuff in the shampoos and all the soaps and stuff. That's also like causing for women hormone issues and cortisol issues.
Of course it is.
Yeah, more stuff that they don't want you to know. But the good thing, the thing that I learned on Sunday was not in the state of Illinois, you don't need to be licensed to do and host Scalpology.
So let's go. Let's open a place.
You have a lot of places opening up and doing these things that are not really trained on the benefits or how they're reading the before and after pictures. So everyone who works at Scalpology in Wheaton is a licensed technician. So again, if you want to call, set up your time with the girls over there and just say Girls Day 2024 and save $15. And then let us know how you liked it, because we're hoping everyone is gleaming and so happy with the results. So
if you tell us that you're going, Danielle's going to sit on the edge of her seat just waiting for the feedback text. Please let him like it. Please let him like it.
I was like, how could you not?
How could you not? But you know, you're the same way. I think when you like plan any outing or vacation, I feel like, hey, if I'm planning something and I'm putting this all together, I don't care if you like it or not, because I did so much work just to get us here. But you were like so funny, because on vacations, you'll look around and really care if people are enjoying themselves. You're a good host.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I feel like, would it be weird if like you're doing something and you plan something and you're just like standing in the corner in like Carlton, like having a good time, and then everyone's just, this sucks. Like, wouldn't that bring your mood down?
Wait. No, do you know what? That literally, I have a flashback. Any fitness instructor, that's your life, where you are standing in a room of people just staring you down, and you're doing the most of being like, I am trying so hard to make this moment special and happen. And eventually everybody catches on. So I think maybe that's what it is. As a fitness instructor, I have to just not care, because I know that you're going to like it. You just have to like really immerse yourself in it, and then it'll be great. I'm used to that. Death stares galore.
Oh yeah. No, I feel like that's one of my things where like I get uncomfortable. Like I hate uncomfortable silence. Like if I'm having a good time and I'm looking around and someone's not having a good time, it makes me so uncomfortable.
Uh-huh.
Like those are the times like you don't want to be alone. Come on, enjoy the fun. The water's warm.
Yes, you very much so take it upon yourself to make sure as a host that everybody's having a good time. Do you brainstorm before we all have our get-togethers of, okay, when it gets dull, I'm going to whip out this story or this little fun fact. Everyone's going to really hop on this one and have a decent conversation over it.
I don't know if I do it consciously, but maybe subconsciously. I don't know.
You do.
I feel like my brain's always going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's so funny. All right. So basically, obviously, our girls' day was a high.
Oh, very high. Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Is that your high?
So Patty was like, we're doing this every daylight savings time. We're doing this.
Seriously, because I had the best day yet to like full circle. Okay, so the daylight savings. That's where my brain goes like off. Thank you for bringing me back to my point, is that at the end of the day, I'm seeing all these posts saying this is the longest Sunday ever and the clock's turning back and the worst. And I was like, this was the best day ever. So every daylight savings, little life hack, leave your kids and husband at home, go get some friends and go do anything. And if it involves a sound machine and an eye mask, it's even
invite
better.
Patty.
Please invite me. Celebrate something so that I have an excuse. I miss the days of bachelorette parties where I had to be like, sorry, it's her bachelorette. Bye for the weekend. Now I have zero excuses to do anything fun.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like if you just make an excuse like, oh, 10 years sober is definitely
Huge.
a reason to celebrate.
Yeah.
But if like, guys, I made it a week and I didn't stub my toe. Let's go have a party.
That goes back to celebrating the little things in life, which I'm all about.
Exactly.
I think that's great. Christmas is coming up. So we're going to have lots of celebrations.
Yeah. I was just telling my sister and my mom how like I hate December. It's just
it's your birthday month.
I know. And maybe that's another, but it just feels like it's so busy. And there's so much going on and everyone wants to celebrate. And it's, you have this party and that party. It just becomes so exhausting that it's sometimes so hard to like be happy about it.
Oh, then stop trying to make friends, Danielle. You have enough going on. I have a couple parties. I think mine is manageable. But I guess we're not even in December.
Just wait till the invitations start pouring in. Like everyone. Like,
how popular are you? I love
I'm not saying there's like, so it's like my husband's work party. Last year, I think we did it in January, and I was like, oh, this is so awesome because come January, there's nothing going on. Granted, the weather sucks, but we have to base it on everyone's schedule. Mm. And it turns out this year that the party is going to be on December 27th.
Oof.
So it's
better than the day after Christmas.
I know, but still, I just feel like it's just like never ending. I feel like you can really enjoy a party when you're like refreshed and ready.
Yeah. I know it does get exhausting. I don't like when things pile up like that, especially in the winter months when it's cold, when it's dark at 5 p.m. It's a little bit harder. But I think that there's something really special about December because it is the time where you take inventory and you're like, I want to see these people because the year's almost over and we didn't get enough time together. And at the end of the day, while I love parties and dressing up and festivities and gifts and trees and all like the beauty of December, I think what I like most about it, and if we can remember what it's all about, is just being together and celebrating that and not feeling so much pressure. And also, quick reminder, it's okay to say no.
So December is so magical. It is magical, especially if it does snow, if everything aligns perfectly. But that was the thing I've been seeing because I was like, okay, sober October. And now it's no November. Be okay with saying no. If it isn't going to enhance your life, if it's going to make you sad, if it's going to make you feel uncomfortable, if it's going to put you in a position, just say no.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's great because, again, it goes back to boundaries and it goes back to just sticking up for ourselves. So many people feel so obligated to do things. And if you're doing something that doesn't come from like a place of genuinity,
Mm-hmm.
then you're fake. You're just showing up for the wrong reasons. So it's like this November, how about everyone just show up for the right reasons and do things that you want to do, not because you feel like you have to do. We have to go to work. We have to make money. We have to pay our bills. Those things. Your time is worthy.
I love that. That's such a cool, I have not heard. Where are you getting all these monthly like challenges?
My Instagram and the algorithms, let's just say, is really effed up. Like,
well, no, they
one minute it's telling me one thing and the next minute it's telling me another thing. And they're like, lady, you're crazy. Go see and talk to someone.
We're all a little crazy. We should all be talking to somebody licensed, not us, not your friends, because blind leading the blind. But what were you saying?
That's funny.
Say no November.
Say no November.
So I wanted to ask you, so far we're only like a few days into November. Have you said no to something that you feel good about saying no to? Or are we not there yet?
No, actually. So yesterday everyone was off of school and work because of voting. And my siblings were taking their kids to Kids Empire in West Chicago to like enjoy the day.
I also thought about going to Kids Empire. There's one in Palatine. And I was like, how do I fit this into my day? Because I love that place. All right.
Oh, yeah. My sister had texted me a couple days before saying that was the plan. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try really hard to get there. But by the time like my morning started and I just had a major amount of paperwork to get done that I needed to get done. And I was like, as much as I want to go and I'm going to feel guilty for not enjoying a day off and being around my niece and nephews, I really need to say no for myself and for my work and for my clients and prioritize myself today versus trying to show up for them, even though it was going to make me anxious and then come home after that to be up until 10 o'clock doing all my work. So I chose me yesterday.
Oh, good. And I hope that when we do that, let's all practice no November, saying no to things. And I wonder if that's a really good month to do it because it's leading up to December, which there is so much where your social battery is going to be exhausted and depleted. We can recharge right now. We can reset. We can focus on us and what we want and make it so that we arrive to December ready for all the parties.
Yeah. And I think too, it's helpful because maybe saying no to things, because obviously November is also about being thankful, and it can help us reevaluate and understand really what we're thankful for. I host Thanksgiving every year, and we always go around and talk about what we're thankful for. I tell people, you can't say family. You can't say friends. You can't just be generic in your thankfulness. You have to really dig deep and figure out what you're thankful for, because it's easy to be thankful for your friends. It's easy to be thankful for your family. It's easy to be thankful for your kids. But then it's just such an easy way out to really, if you're saying no to things, why are you saying no to that? And then is that putting perspective in your life of where your priorities are and what the important things are?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's not easy for me to say no to things, to say no to people, to say no to brunch invitations, coffee date invitations, Because in my head, I'm thinking that it's very important to whoever needs me. And for some reason, I got it twisted along the way. And I think that them and their needs are more important than mine. So I'm thinking what's going on in their life that they need me right now? Are they struggling and then they need me to show up for them? Or when, especially phone calls, I'm big on trying to be present with my kids when I'm home and use my time wisely.
I think that's where the confusion gets in when people say no or they set boundaries, because it seems like such a selfish act, right? I'm going to say no because I need to do this. But then me saying no to that person's, oh my gosh, like they're not there for me. Like they're constantly saying no, they don't show up. But it's finding that, I think, happy medium and understanding if you're not saying no and you are saying yes, are you giving up something else that's more important? Are you sacrificing something within yourself or a moral or a value that's not aligning with you? So I think it just comes down to, it's not necessarily just saying no and it's not saying yes. It's like, why are you saying no? Why are you saying yes? Mm-hmm. And understanding that reason.
Absolutely. Because every time that you say yes to something, there's a lot that you're saying no to in that same breath. I'm going to say yes to the girls' day, and then I'm going to say no to a Sunday relaxing on my couch, or a Sunday regrouping my household, or a Sunday with my kids, or a Sunday morning going to church. Like, you're saying yes to certain things, and whether you know it or not, you're saying no to a lot. So you say, yes, I'll cover your shift at work. And then I'm saying no to recharging and filling my cup and being ready because I said yes to that. And sometimes you don't even make the connection between all of the things you've said no to, because you just want to say yes in that moment so you don't feel guilty, you don't let that person down. And sometimes we have to just sit and say, I matter too, I'm important too. I heard that just because I'm available and don't have something on my schedule, it doesn't mean I'm available to you. And that is something I have to tell myself a lot. If I'm free and I don't have work that day, or I don't have a million things to get done, it does not mean that then I get to go and give more of myself to other things. You're not available. Say no and see what happens. Maybe we're all going to be a little bit better off.
I think too, if you're used to being the person that says yes, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't need to go to every baby shower, party, graduation, whatever. It's the guilt you have because you were always used to saying yes and being there. And it's learning to deal with like how to say no and be okay with it. Mm-hmm. It took me quite a few years. And I don't think I'm 100% there yet, but I feel like I do say no more often than I used 5 years ago. It's not even about the other person. It's more about yourself and having respect for yourself. I do love to be busy because to me, being busy makes me feel it's my worth. It's in a sick way. Again, a psychiatrist can go to town on me, but that's where I create my value. And when I feel wanted, needed, and I'm around people and I'm busy, it just gives me value to my life. I feel more, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know.
Like, you feel successful, you feel put together.
And not successful is not even the right word to use. Maybe useful, because if I'm at home for 3 days with no one to help and nowhere to go and nowhere to be and no one to be social with, it's just, I feel like my life really isn't worth living.
Ooh, that's so interesting.
My husband will joke with me because sometimes he'd be like, we got into this thing where I feel like you prioritize more people over me in our relationship. And I'm like, I don't understand what you mean. He's like, yeah, like your family and your siblings and the nieces and nephews and your friends. And then one day I was like, maybe it's because you don't really need me. Like, you have your shit together. Like, you don't need me. Like, when I leave for the day, I know that you're not going to starve to death. I know you know how to do your own laundry. I know you have friends and you have outlets. Like, other people need me and you don't really need me. So then now it's become a running joke. But it helped put things in perspective too, because just because someone doesn't really need you to tell them everything's going to be okay, or no one needs you to make them a meal or get them dressed or do all those things, doesn't mean you shouldn't prioritize them.
Oh, for sure. It's like the superhero mentality where you think that somebody has it all together, but everybody has their needs and everyone need support, even if it looks different than what you think. Maybe it's not them completely drowning, screaming out for help, but it's just like a silent, they want you there. They want to feel special. They want to be prioritized. But it is hard when you take on that role of thinking that your worth is only in your productivity, which you are worth rest and you're worth sitting and doing whatever it is that you need and want in that moment. But I think that our whole entire culture is very much so hustle, and it's really hard. I've been reading a lot of books. You read a lot of books, like fun books, not self-help books.
No, I tried. This year has just been terrible, but I used to try to balance for every fun fiction book. I would try to read a nonfiction book, like a self-help book or something that can help me with my career, sales, or how to talk to people, whatever, just to balance it out and, again, get the brain going. But this year, I would say if I had to pick my fail so far for the year, it's been my lack of reading.
That's okay. That's not the worst fail. Trust me. Could be way worse. That's your fail?
Well, okay, I'll dig deep and then think about it for next episode. But I feel like if I had to, that's something I'm like, man, like yesterday I was like, my husband's gone for the entire week. But what did I do? I sat on the couch and I watched stupid, brainless TV instead of, I could have read 3 books this week already. But I didn't because I just was just, I'm going to blame it on daylight savings time.
Yeah. Literally for the entire month, everything's blamed on daylight savings. It was daylight savings. It's fine.
I was so tired. Like when it's 4:30 and you look outside and it's dark, you're like, okay, I get to sit on the couch now and do nothing because it's your brain.
Yeah, I do. I like that. It's also, though, going back to how you said that you feel like December is just so busy. I feel like summer. I love summer. My birthday's in summer. I'm always going to love warm weather. But man, it was exhausting. And I think having my kids home and all the camps and the sports and the fun and the parties, and it was exhausting. It always is. So it's funny to think that it's just life is exhausting. We have to be more mindful of taking breaks when we need it, saying no when we need it, saying that we need help and that we need attention when we need it and we need support. I realized a long time ago that the squeaky wheel gets the grease, gets the oil. Yes. Being one of 7 kids growing up, if you try to be the one that just sits back and doesn't want to cause any more problems and just wants to be the easygoing one, it's like a badge of honor for a lot of people. You're easygoing, you don't cause any disruptions, and it's funny because then you grow up and you then have all these needs and you don't know how to express that you have needs because you're so wanting to make it seem like you don't have needs. And then to be married to somebody like that, it's got to be hard because you know that they have needs, but then they're okay. So you're just going to leave them alone. And communication obviously is just so key because nobody's reading your mind and it's not their job to. No matter how well I know you or how my husband knows me, it doesn't matter. Ask for what you want. Life is too short to sit back and say, they should know me by now. They should know this about me. Absolutely not. Why should they? Life is so busy. Why should they know all of your needs and your quirks? Just speak. Just use your voice.
On top of it, I feel like a lot of people are afraid of change, right? Mm-hmm. No one likes change. No one wants to usually change. But we're human and we're changing and we're evolving, even if it's just a little bit each and every day. So even though they're your best friend or your husband, your partner, whoever, changing is a good thing if you're communicating about it. And I think communication gets tough for people because it's saying the hard things and saying the uncomfortable things to the person that you know, love, and trust. And I think that's why a lot of relationships do fail because you're always so afraid to say that thing because you're afraid they're going to judge you or you're afraid that they're not going to love you anymore or they're afraid that they're just not going to understand. And sometimes the value of a relationship is how uncomfortable can you make a conversation between the person for them to actually see you and understand you. They might not have to agree with you on it, but they can at least understand and maybe be a little bit empathetic or sympathetic to whatever your needs are. And then you're growing together.
Mm-hmm. Which I feel like that's so important, just continuing to grow and become a better person and fall into who you were meant to be all along. because we have these like trauma responses and these habits that we form and these safety nets that we like sleep in and we don't want to get out of. And every day, if you can do something that makes you better and makes you see the world a different way in time, where the sentence is going, it's literally like the train is so far ahead.
Is this the part where
My
like
brain
we're getting
is
so serious that you're like, okay, I have to start laughing to deflect the serious?
I have no idea where the conversation was going. It happens a lot to me in my fitness classes too, where I'm just like, and then sometimes I told Shannon the other day, as I was talking in class, all of a sudden I just stopped talking in mid-sentence and just turned the music up. I was like, this sentence is going nowhere fast. Did anybody notice I just stopped? Turn the music up.
I feel like in the fitness world, it's okay because you always have that volume button to crank back up.
Oh yeah, I'm like, bye.
I'll try to lift you out of this one.
Just edit that entire thing out.
No, I think I know where you were going. So it'll come down to, do you think, let's just go back 6 months to a year, have you not let your light shine in order to either avoid drama, avoid conflict, or just because you think it was just the easier way to go? Did any of that affect the way you acted because of the surrounding area?
Yeah, I think probably. Like when you're used to certain things and you're just take on a role for yourself, and that's just how it's always going to be. Even if it takes a lot to understand your own needs, and then this step after that, once you know what your needs are and you think, okay, this is what I need in life and this is how I need to show up and this is how I need people to support me, and then vocalizing it and then finding your crew who's going to then understand it. It's a lot, but every day you just keep trying to work toward that so that it's like you're living in like your healthiest environment with the right people.
What happens when you're in that environment when you think you're with the right people? Right?
Well, it's a big letdown if you realize that you're not. That's for sure, right?
So my thing that I've been dealing with probably the last year or two is, I feel like when I'm being vocal to the people that I know, love, and trust, they might not agree with me, right? But when do you learn to shut up, right? Sometimes I just don't know when to shut up. And it's not that I'm doing it to be malicious. I'm doing it because I feel like I have something of value to bring to the conversation that might help the situation. So to me, it's learning like what silence is golden. What's, the saying. So now I've said my piece, let it go, and then just sit back and then not be the person that says, I told you so, or not to be the person to say, if you would have listened to me, or not be the person to be like, you didn't listen to me and, now I'm done with you.
I think it's always easier for an outsider to say, this is what should be done. And I think when we're giving people advice, it's the saying for a reason. It's easier said than done because it is. And from an outsider's view, because it's so much easier to see, or like hindsight's 2020. But when you're living it and your emotions are involved, to make the right choices, it's so tricky. Because even if it's clear as day, even to yourself sometimes, going ahead and making it happen is going to be so hard. And then I don't think that you need to be silent about things. Like you obviously say your piece and it's so helpful, but then you could say your piece and then move on. And some people are going to be open to it and receptive to it and want that. And some people aren't. Some people are going to be in therapy and wanting that help. And some people aren't. Some people are going to have problems with alcohol and seek out help to navigate that and get past it. And some people won't. And I think that your audience, if you know that somebody is struggling and they're open to what you're saying, talk away and have those awesome, meaningful, powerful moments and conversations. But then there's some times where it's truly just a waste of your time, your energy, your caring. Coming from big families, having big groups of friends, being the popular wrestling manager that you were growing up, it's got to be really hard. We still haven't shared that photo, and I really want to.
Guys, I went down and stumbled through my boxes and found my yearbook and sent Patty.
There she was,
the picture
in her glory. First off, the bangs were fabulous. On point. I strived to have bangs like that when I was in high
You've
school,
never
grade
had
school.
bangs?
Oh, I did. They didn't look like yours. I had one of those portable straightening wands that I would keep probably in my backpack or in my locker because I have curly frizzy hair. So it was just not Danielle in this photo for her wrestling photo, prime photo. She's on the side. There's all the guys in their singlets, which they're all wearing different singlets. That would not have like flied if I was manager. They're all in different things. Some have their warm-ups on, some have a singlet on. You're in this white long sleeve shirt, and is it a question mark on your shirt or was it a candy cane?
Question mark. Don't you remember when those were like the baby tees with the logos
from Guess?
Lips or question mark or numbers?
No, I don't.
Cool back
no,
then? Yeah.
I don't remember that.
From 579.
Don't even know what you're speaking about.
579. 579 was like the place everyone shopped. Contempo.
Limited to Contempo. Barely remember Contempo.
Okay, we have to remember where like there is a 5-year age gap between
when that 5 years was big between like me in 8th grade and you like a senior.
Like
yes.
merry-go-round.
I know I've ridden on a merry-go-round.
the store? That's where you used to buy like the IOU sweatshirts and the Z Cavaricis.
You are speaking a different language. IOU sweatshirts?
Seriously?
What?
Oh.
Abercrombie was like the thing in high school for me.
Abercrombie this was like before, so this is.
So then I'm in grade school at this point.
Yeah. Oh my
gosh. Why these stores shut down? I feel like Charlotte Russe is one that's been there a while. Was that around when you were in high school?
Yeah, that was like the cheaper places like 579 Contempo were like expensive-ish places, and then you had Forever 21s and Wet Seal Charlotte Russe, like all the ones that like you can get like a lot of clothes for a little bit of money.
Nice.
Yeah.
I remember Delia's. Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Oh,
I like that one because they had a catalog too that would come to the house.
First. And then they built the store.
The inflatable like lounge chairs. I remember my older sister Rena had one and she got this inflatable lounge chair and I was like, doggone it. I want that in my room so bad. And then she had the Britney Spears posters everywhere. So I had to have my Britney Spears posters. And then we had the beads that would hang in your doorway.
I did not have them, but my friend Jackie had them. Her room was like, hippie central.
Oh, I was not at all a hippie, but those beads were awesome.
Yeah. Did you have the blacklight posters?
No, but...
And the lava lamps? No lava lamps?
No, that was Tara and Rena's thing. That was their thing. The blacklight posters were a huge hit in their house, my household, but their bedrooms, not mine. I was not into the black and white posters, but that's so funny. Everybody had those. My kids would probably love those.
I feel like the lava lamps are making a comeback.
Lava lamps are super cool because it's also like a soothing, calming.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, like the bouncing of the lava?
Yeah, we stare at them.
I feel like hypnotized.
Hypnotizing. Have you ever been hypnotized?
No, but that's so weird because I just brought it up the other day. I'm like, there's so many benefits of it, especially for like children if they've gone through like trauma.
Oh, wow.
I've heard success stories about people quitting smoking through hypnotism.
That's how I know of like being hypnotized. And you would listen to sleep every night. And then
that's part of it. It's not like you just go see someone, they do it, and you're done.
You know what? I'm not a professional, but I'm sure it could go either way. How serious do you want to get on this? Do you want to really get hypnotized every night so that it helps you? Or is it just one and done, and then you're just in this hypnotic state forever?
And Chandler and Friends, when he was trying to quit smoking, and then it was a woman.
Yes.
But I thought it was like when you see it on stage, and then like when I snap my finger, you're going to bark like a dog. Like,
yes. That is funny. I have never been to a show like that, but that's amazing.
So I guess, but then hypnotizing is that easy that it's just listening to a tape every night?
I think it depends on the person. If your aura is open to being hypnotized, I don't know.
So that's another thing we should add to the trial and error list. Okay, let's see. Let's listen to the same tape over and over for 30 days and see if it has an effect.
Yes. That sounds really cool, actually, but I feel like we'd have to pay a hypnotist to make us a tape.
But can't you probably just go on YouTube?
Oh, nowadays, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's someone on there listen to this every day for 30 days. That'll help their views and subscriptions go up too.
Oh my gosh. That's something that's not in my algorithm. It will be now because my phone's right under me as I'm talking. But I am not I feel like that's not really a thing anymore to be hypnotized. The Call Me app, meditation, stuff like that. if you're a hypnotist out there
and you're listening, call us.
Please, we want to know more about what you've got to offer. We want your voice on tape. Help us.
Can you imagine if the person was trying to hypnotize you and they had like the world's worst voice? If it was like Janice from Friends.
Oof. Yeah, that'd be rough. Or God forbid you wake up when you're like around people, like, and you start talking like them. And could you imagine if you woke up after being hypnotized by Janice?
Oh my God.
That'd be horrible. Did we get to high lows?
No, we did not. We started there and then we got sidetracked. Who would have thought?
Shocking. Us? Sidetracked? Huh? Never.
Yeah. We started because we shared a mutual high with the Scalpology.
Yes, that was great.
So, do you have another high?
I taught a new fitness class. Was that my high last
how did
week?
it go? No, you were certified. You didn't teach it yet.
Yes.
So you were on your own, right?
So I was with somebody, and then now I have my first class solo coming up. I'm so excited. Follow my Instagram so you know all my schedule is, and you guys can come to my classes. But yeah, it's super exciting. When I did it, I took the reins for half the class or whatever, and I'm walking around so out of my element. And I've done this before, something super similar. I've done it. Why on earth, years later, 2.5 years later, am I sitting there feeling like I don't know what I'm doing? I literally was like, I don't know what to do with my hands. And I don't think that you could really tell, but it's like that feeling inside. But that's like super exciting as well. Getting outside the comfort zone, pushing, trying something new. And hey, if I'm not the greatest at it, and if I don't change people's lives as I'm doing this new format, then it's not for me, but at least I tried.
Exactly.
So that was really exciting.
And no one's going to be perfect the first day they try anything or do anything. It's repetition.
Oh,
and you're going to find your groove. Go back to when you were cycling. How'd you do the first?
You were there the first couple. And I have a video of the class I taught when you were there because I would video myself a lot. And as cringy as it is to have to watch it back, that's how some people learn and grow.
Oh, for sure.
And that's me. I would hear myself and I'm like, I'm never saying that again. My voice sounds this way. Like, you just make those changes. You are your own worst critic.
Oh, for sure. If you're not, go get your head checked. There's something wrong.
Now we're scared of you.
Yes, very. And unfortunately, I know a lot of those people. And I try to stay far away from them because their delusion is insane.
See, those are the people that silence is golden. You can just be like, you live where you want to live. And I'm going to know that my time here is wasted and I'm going to. Did you have another high besides Scalpology?
I did. So one of my friends was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh, man.
She had a double mastectomy. And so she was waiting for the results to see if it spread to her lymph nodes. And the results came back and it didn't spread. And
wow.
The doctor told her that her choosing to do the double mastectomy was the best decision she could have ever made. So I'm really happy. As much as that sucked that she had to do a double mastectomy and she had to go through all the ups and downs of the biopsies and the results and all that, but she made the right decision. And it didn't spread any farther. I'm just very blessed and happy that she received that news this week.
Wow, thank God. That's such beautiful news.
Yeah, I don't think 2024 needs any more bad news. It's just been a constant turning of events that are just never in the positive light. Hopefully here, we're just going to keep the rest of this year going with all the positive vibes.
Yeah, more highs to come.
More highs, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and the low, I'm feeling it. I'm going to be 43 at the end of this year, and I have had such terrible, it went from like constant headaches for a week or two to back pain.
Oh no.
And like literally where I'm like turning the seat warmer on. And if you know, it's been warm here. So I've been putting it on just for relief of back pain. I come home and then I do my work in my office and then I come back down and I sit on a heating pad. So it's just been just miserable. I hate getting old. So that is low. It affects you.
Do you have a foam roller that you use at home?
I have a foam roller.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Use it. Do
and
you?
The owner of Pure Bar where I go, she was telling me that there's these pads with electrolytes or electroshock that you put on that she bought at like the drugstore. And she said it is like works wonders. It's amazing. So I'm going to go and pick one up today and see how that works. She said it was
like icy hot?
No, I think it just like sends like electric shocks, like little
And they just sell it?
tap. Yeah, I'll let you know.
Let me know how it goes. I was going to suggest the UV therapy, the red light therapy. I got a pad off of Amazon. It's like a thing that I can wrap around my son's foot because he hurt his foot. And that's supposed to promote healing and joints and bones and aches and pains and all that stuff to go away. So
yeah, there's a lot of stuff with the red light therapy now, like the glasses I want to get for my under eyes or whatever.
I want to get that face mask that I just sit in. And it's just my kids will stop coming in my room at night if I'm wearing that. Like, what? Retreat.
What happened?
That'll work.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my esthetician friend. She bought the glasses, and I was like, all right, you try them, and then you let me know if it's worth it. They're like $60. So yeah, they're expensive, but not that expensive. But if it can cure my dark circles without having to do any like surgical or any other injections, sign me up.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So
that sounds good. So my low was that I had to go take my son to the ER for an infection. And antibiotics is working and whatever, but his whole face started swelling. And it was the scariest night of my life. And here it was the day after, Halloween. So I had this Halloween hangover. And now I had to take my kid. And I'm sorry, but I know I'm a mom and stuff, but I didn't sign up for this. Nobody told you how many ER visits you would have as a mom. And sometimes I don't feel that I have the strength. I still want to call my people that I rely on. And I'm like, hey,
Mom, help.
Yeah. I'm sitting in the ER waiting room. It's like almost 10 o'clock at night. The whole ordeal was already going on for a couple hours. I'm going to urgent care, then another one. Then this one's closed. This one doesn't have the ultrasound machine. You got to go to the ER. So then I go to the ER. They don't even have stickers to give Joe. And he's newly 4. And we go to the pediatrician, you get stickers. There's no stickers. The TV in the waiting room was off. And my phone's running out of battery. And I'm just like, really? Like, why is there not a little room of toys for this kid? And something for me, too.
Starbucks coffee.
They had a Panera and it was closed. I'm like, what kind of hospital is this? What is happening? What do nurses and doctors do? That's horrible. Why don't we take care of the people that are going to take care of us? Someone needs to take care of me too. So we left there close to 2 a.m. And then Wendy's was closed. So we couldn't get the Frosty that I promised my son.
Wendy, I thought they're open late night.
Me too. Apparently right across the street from the hospital, they decided to close.
So it's like a dead zone over there.
It was horrible.
They're trying to keep everyone away from the hospital.
Yeah, it was horrible. So now if you don't follow me on Instagram, go on my Instagram and you can send a book of stickers or a small toy or anything. And I will gladly drive it to our local children's hospitals with my kids and do our drop-offs and donate a bunch of toys. I've been collecting for a couple weeks now. And we have a car full of toys. I'd love to add some more. I don't mind doing 3 carloads. I did that last year and I'm here for it. I want to make a difference so that the next mom in her moment of weakness and her moment of needs has a little bit of support with maybe just like a book of stickers like a coloring book.
Do they take used toys? Like gently used toys?
Some doctor's offices will.
Because I feel like now is like the perfect time for people to take inventory because Santa's coming and most kids have more than enough toys and they don't even need more, but obviously that's what happens in December. So it would be nice for people to take the time, even if you can take 1 hour to sort through the toy room and see what you don't need and check with your local hospitals, local schools, local preschools, and see what they need because everyone's doing budget cuts and money's going where it shouldn't. If we can all pitch in and help out and do what we need to do to bring
a little bit of joy to the scary times. Isn't that what we're all just trying to do? Me and you for sure. Just trying to bring a little bit of laughter to the traumatic moments in life.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys are laughing a little bit today. Hopefully you learned a little bit today. You're all ready for November and you're ready for a magical December.
Woo! I love this.
Yeah. So we'll take it day by day. We want you to take it day by day with us. And if you really love listening to us, please share us with your friends and family, even if they've never listened to a podcast before. I think we have, that I know of, about 5 people that are listening to our podcast who have never listened to a podcast before. So to me, that's exciting because I like to do things that I've never done before and share my experiences with people. And I hope you do the same.
Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks, guys. We're going to keep being us so you can keep being you.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Tune in for the laughs we share, fun and stories everywhere. Besties talking loud and clear, everyday life we hold dear.